It's working? I think it's working. We've got a little camera. I'm going to get rid of that one actually. Because today is another live stream, but in a different way. If you guys just give me a second, I can enlarge that. I can. Yay! Okay, guys. So still haven't got rid of that other camera, but I'll do my intro quickly before I go and do all that fatty stuff. If you guys remember this guy from previous streams and videos, then you'll know who this is. But if you don't know who this is, guys, this is Morningscape. But if you don't know who I am, I'm Blut084, BLUT084. I make artwork, I draw things, I create with polymer clay, and I also go into VR, which I did make everything for this character. This has been drawn. I'll show you a few drawings of this one in a moment. But this main stream is going to be all about drawing the Morningscape character. Again, if you missed any of these guys, they are up in the Creation Station playlist and will be available for you guys to check out at your leisure. And yeah, I'm going to be drawing this one today. I didn't draw him originally like I normally do. What I do is I draw them and then I'll make them out of polymer clay or go into VR or do it vice versa, or just normally draw first. And I didn't actually draw it because I was in the swing of making wings, like feathers and stuff like that, and my son said to me he wanted a character that was holding a skateboard and was in theme with what I do. I love to make myself some wings, so I'm really enjoying making the wings and drawing wings at the moment. So I'm going to be carrying on with some more wings today. As you can see, these two characters have wings. And yeah, we're going to be getting on that, guys. But if you're new to the channel, you've got to make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to join in on today's video stream, then don't forget you can leave a comment down below. I will see them pop up on the screen there. I won't be on the screen for full time. And that there is going to disappear in a minute. That's the mini camera, which is really weird how I can actually have this camera and that camera going. I wish I could like turn them around. I can't actually show you the camera, but I'm on the PS4 today and I am live. So again, I will see the comments and everything will come up, but we're going to be getting on with some drawing. And yeah, I showed you how you can do this yourself with your PS4 and cameras and things yesterday. So if you've missed that video, guys, definitely go and check that one out. And yeah, you'll be able to see how I do my editing, because this one is going to be edited. This is a live stream, live casting out to you guys. And before I forget, Alexa, set me 15 minutes on the timer. I bet you it says 15.
15 minutes, starting now.
Alexa, cancel alarm.
Your next 11 a.m. alarm is cancelled. Would you like to cancel this alarm for every weekday?
No, shut up.
Okay.
Alexa, set me a timer for 50 minutes.
Second timer, 50 minutes, starting now.
Hopefully this intro won't be 15 minutes. But yeah, let's get some doing and doing. Let's get some drawing. Get my pencils out. Move the camera. And we'll see how all of this new way I'm doing stuff is going to work. And I need my bits and bobs. So while I do, I am going to be listening to some of the Comic Storian again, guys. If you know who Comic Storian are, they're one of my favourite things to listen to, especially when I'm drawing. If you like comics, but you can't afford to buy them every single issue, but you like to buy selected issues, what I would do, guys, is what I do. Is buy my selected issues that I want to watch, ones that I want to read, keep back, and comics I want to keep, collectibles and stuff like that. But if you want to get all the bits that you want to do and you still want to find out what's going on in the other comics, Comic Storian is one of the best places to look for. But yeah, let's quickly get that playing so you guys can see what's going on, and you get to see how I watch how I make my TikToks as well. So yeah, I'll let you watch this a second and I will be back and I'll sort the camera out accordingly. You can leave some comments coming in, guys, but as we've just started live, here you go.
One of your favorite characters. We tell you where they came from, some interesting factoids about their publication history, and all the weird nitty-gritty that involves the character's existence. Recently, some people asked me who my favorite characters are. When I answered, the question came up about the Red Hood. They said, Benny, I thought Red Hood was one of your favorite characters. You're always talking about him. Now, don't get me wrong. I do love me some Red Hood. The problem is, the Jason Todd that I like has only really been around since 2011. Before that, Jason Todd was dead until about 2005. After his resurrection, DC really couldn't seem to figure out what they wanted to do with him, with the character jumping from a sort of anti-hero to a full-blown supervillain, depending on who was writing the story arc. So for those of you guys who didn't know, we're going to take a trip down history talking about the guy that fans disliked so much that they killed him off. First appearing in 1983, Jason Todd was little more than a Dick Grayson clone. Seriously, his parents were circus performers who were murdered. After being taken in by Bruce Wayne, he went on to become the second Robin. The reason for this was that Dick Grayson had become the leader of the Teen Titans. Yet, Batman still needed a Robin to work alongside him. Without him, Batman would just be a creepy guy in a cape. Apparently, the 80s wasn't a very creative time, and instead of creating a brand new character, they decided to just clone the first Robin. After the soft reboot of Crisis on Infinite Earths arc, Jason's origins were changed and he actually became his own person. And people hated it. Gone were the happy-go-lucky clone days. Now, Jason was just a wisecracking street punk who had met Batman when he tried to steal his wheels off of the bat.
Okay, right. So, that's what we're going to be listening to. You can't watch it all, because I would definitely recommend going and checking them out yourself. But you like listening and watching people draw. That's what I'm going to be doing today. If you want to find out how I made all of my things, other than this tripod, obviously, and the other tripod, and how I made those, they are available up on the Creation Station playlist, and you guys can check them out at any time. Right, let's change this camera around. This is a faff, and I normally do this before I go live, but I want to show you the drawings quickly, so please don't disconnect. Let's unplug you, turn you around. Got to move that other camera. I really must move the other camera. Yep, upside down, put it there, and get it into position, which is the most pain in the ass part of it, because the wire decides it's going to make it go somewhere else every single time. And then I do this, and then I do this, and I kind of do that, and then I get really fed up with it, and then I let it go, and then I move these out of the way, and then I put this here, if I can get it right, and then I move you closer. Like that. And then, before I forget, I go insane, because this is the wrong way around. And then I do it all again. Oh, just stay there, please. I am getting so fed up with doing this. Right. There we go, finally. So, I do apologise if you've got any knocking and banging in the background. People are working on roofs and other things like that. I will be having work down here very soon, guys. So, if I don't go live, that is the reason why. Right, okay, before I go anywhere into things. As I've done characters before, you would have seen me... this is the other, Blue Angel, which I'll show you. Actually, do you know what? I'll start with Blue Angel, shall we? I'll tell you the mythos. But first I want to get rid of that little camera. I don't actually know how to get rid of that little camera. So it's going to have to stay there for today. I can't actually get rid of that camera unless I stop the stream. So I won't be doing that. Right, okay, so let's get the comments up, because I know somebody's just left me a comment. Let's get those comments up. I can't show you how to log into that. I'll get comments up. It's probably better if I listen to it through this. Who's watching? Say hello if you're watching. You're not live on the stream. Better if I listen to it through this. Who's watching? Say hello if you're watching. You're not live on the stream. Well, no, everything works then. That's good. Oh, it's Artemis. Woohoo, she's saying. Hello. Hello. How are you? Right on. Oh, you're back from work. Awesome. Hopefully you've had a good day of work today, baby. Thinking about drawing your character next, but that's another thing altogether. Right, let's get on with what... You can see all the little things pop up. Right. Okay. Right, the mythos of Morningscape. Wow. Shall I say the mythos of Blue Angel, which is where it started. Mythos. Right, okay, the character. Still gonna make stats. Do you know what? I'm gonna make stats. I'm gonna make a stat video of everything I need to do. Yeah, your headless character. And did you want to keep it as a headless character? Is that why it has no head? Anyway, let's go on with this because I need to explain this, and I'll talk to you later about that, Mrs. Yes. So my Blue Angel. I've always liked wings, and I just sort of when I first started the channel, I already had the character sort of designed, but I want to redraw it, and I did it all off. And yeah, this is Blue Angel, me, as I like to think of it, as this is me, as my character. Whatever. The mythos is he lives on a world that has stopped spinning, and on one side you have the light side, which is a little bit sunburned and a little bit not dead, but just a little bit sunburned and stuff like that. And it's kind of like it flourishes because of all the sunlight, and it's a perfect utopia. Whereas on the other side of the world, which is dark because it stopped spinning, so the dark side of the world has their counterparts. So when you're not created in this world. In this world, you are born, but out of an egg because of the wings, and your egg is duplicated because your parents were also part of the two separate races. They can never meet because there's a divide in the two. And I'm working on that world in the VR, and I have already started doing that. How they first meet. This is again Blue Angel, my character. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay on that world or if I'm going to bring him to the Earth realm. I'm not sure yet. So it's sort of an idea. But yeah, we started out with the Blue Angel. He's a hero type character. Don't really know what he's saving. Don't really know if he's doing a crime fighting thing or if he's doing just sort of like he's noticed things in the world, he wants to correct them, sort of thing like that. So that's the idea for Blue Angel, and that's where I started. And I thought to myself, this hero needs a sidekick, which is where Morningscape came in. Morningscape started out as a little character like this. So I kind of already have drawn him. Like again, they all come out of eggs. He came out of an egg. And then Blue Angel's protecting the eggs and so on and so forth. And this is where I had the idea that he needed so instead of having a sidekick, he's got a sidekick. I already knew who my sidekick was going to be. I knew what kind of wings he was going to. He's going to have wings and have a dark side and a good side. So maybe we'll decide. We'll draw this week. We'll draw the good side, and next week we'll do the bad side of Morningscape. Because Blue Angel has a darker side, and I'm not sure if it's in this book or the other book, but like on the Mythos, every character has a good side and a bad side, and it's like a twin that always gets separated from at birth and things like that. And yeah, with that, sort of move on to the character, and that's a load of other drawings. If you missed anything in these books, guys, they are up on the Creation Station playlist, so if you want to go and check them out, definitely go do so. I will explain a little bit more as I'm going through all of this about the mythos of my character and what I'm sort of planning on it as I go through onto the onto the VR version. And let's get to the right page of the other, which is the darker side of Blue Angel. This is what I'm going to be also doing for this is also what I'm going to be doing for Morningscape. So I'm sort of developing that character now because I've kind of got as far as I can without sort of going fully into making a comic with the Blue Angel character. Okay, so this is the darker version, or the alternate version, or the twin of Blue Angel. I'm kind of like deciding whether I should go twin or should I go like that. This is the other. It was defeated by as all. I'm kind of saying all characters. I'm so glad I'm recording this. I'm saying all characters from my book or my comic or whatever I'm going to eventually turn this into. They all have to fight their counterparts for the right to have the existence that they have. If you see what I mean. So it gets to a certain age, maybe teenage age, where you have to fight your counterpart, and if you lose, you get put in the ground, and that's where you stay. And there is no ups or downs. There's no yes or no's, and there's no quarrel in the world that I'm creating. Whether you need to do this or not, this is something you need to do. Otherwise, something which I won't release yet. If both your counterparts are still alive, then you have to something happens. And again, I've got a big story coming for that one, so keep tuned for that, and don't forget to hit that subscribe. But yeah, he's put in the ground, but I'm going to go and shut my window because you can hear a load of crappy noise in the background. Give me a second. You're a pain in the ass. Right, and I'm back again. Yes, so, like I said, you get put in the ground, but he has been dug up by, say this in the future or something like that, because your character lives forever, whatever. Character lives for a very long time. He's been dug up because he has a certain power, because Blue Angel is, say he's the champion of the world. I want to kind of keep it so he's the higher tier of hero. Yeah, so this is the other. He got put in the ground, but he got dug up, which is why you get, like, where you can see loads of excavation, things like that. I'm going to get rid of those because that's from the quiz that I did. Oh, that's a crappy drawing. Here's what the other looks like when he gets resurrected. His weapon is still part. And as soon as his weapon is put back together again, he will be in full flaming, fiery form. And that's another thing that I forgot to say at the very beginning. When on the lighter side, it's flourishing, lovely, blue, glorious sunlight, blah, blah, blah. On the darker side of the world, because it stops spinning, it's all died, everything's bleak, everything's dead, everything's nothing, it's all death and destruction and nothing good. But there's a massive, great, like, barrier between the two worlds, so they could never pass. There's only one place that they can pass between the two worlds, and that is in the VR version. You're going to go and check that out for what I created for that. But the idea of him is he'll always keep his wings bare, because he is the darker side, and he's always on fire. I don't know if I wanted to sort of create the fire on his wings, so I left the wings bare, but his head and body is generally always on fire, or some sort of magical flames up around him and things like that. Again, there's more detail on the VR version for it, but his wings he uses them as a jacket, and sort of when he's ready to fly, like all characters can do, he sort of folds these talons into the little holes that have been put on his wings, flaps them over his bone things, and turns them into like a fleshy things like that. This was the magnet version, which again, if you want to go and check that out, I'll go and quickly grab that so you can quickly see what I've done. With that, we started with a few ideas and cut down ideas, and that eventually ended up with this, and with a removable mask. Again, this one is just my prototype, but if you're interested in Alexa, stop. If you're interested in purchasing anything like this, because they would really help me out, guys. Because at the moment I have no PC and I'm trying to save up for PC. So anything you think you want me to, you can make. If you want me to create your own personal character, like I've done before for another person, you're more than welcome to drop me a line in the comments today, or you can let me know over on Twitch. No, you can't let me know on Twitch. Well, you can, but I'm not there as much. You can let me know over on TikTok. You can let me know over on Instagram as well in the personal messaging. But yeah, this is where we got with that character. I sort of moved on to this as far as we got with the polymer clay version of the other, because I haven't made this character yet. So it's another character I can do. But in the VR version, like I said, we've got the barrier between, and you've got the evil side and you've got the good side. The flourishing and lovely side, whereas the death and destruction and nothing goes, and everything's horrible and on fire because they have to light the fire because that's everything's freezing cold, and that's kind of the reason why he's on fire. Again, he's dark, he's demon, dark and whatever. So yeah, that's the idea. I tried to do that in VR and I couldn't figure out how to make the two characters up and down, so I just did them left and right with a portal in between. So everything go check that out, guys. Definitely go and check that out. But yeah, that's as far as we've got. And that's another picture and another picture I did for a personal character. And there's Morning Skate. And yeah, we've done a whole lot of different stuff. You've missed the hatchlings. They have been made in VR, made in polymer clay, and we drew them. That was a whole month of creating stuff, and my god, was it a long month to make that. So yeah, that's what that's sort of developing that I'm going to be doing for this character of Morning Skate. Again, this here is Morning Skate. He has his weapon. He has a skateboard. I'm not sure what I'm going to be using this skateboard for when I'm drawing. I'm thinking of using it not just for something to ride on, but also his shield, because my son has done a cosplay in the previous. You would have never seen it, but we went to festivals and stuff. He did a cosplay where he used his skateboard as a shield and had like a sword type thing. He wasn't wearing wings or anything, but I thought that was a good idea, so I'm going to stick with the skateboard because his name is Morning Skate and he has to have a skateboard. It's kind of like a thing that he always have. Maybe this is the one this character goes to the Earth realm, picks himself a skateboard up, and he's the hero of the Earth realm. You know, maybe a continuation of the two stories. I'm not sure, but it's in my head and it'll never leave until I've completely finished creating it. But we're going to be drawing this. You can stand there. You are going to stand there. We're going to be creating a new. Well, we're not going to be creating. Sorry, you're going to be drawing this character on my new paper pad. So we're going to be listening to some comic story while I do so. And one is 50 minutes. Like I said, I will be recording this. I am recording this here, as you can see, guys. So this will be put out for an edit. So if you're unable to watch the full hour to 2 hours, depending on how long I take today, I'm aiming to sketch and ink today, and I'll colour tomorrow. Or ink tomorrow and colour tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. What I try and do is I sketch it all, then I ink it, and then I might shade it, and then I'll colour it in. So we're going to be just doing the sketching side today. So what we need for a sketch video is a pencil. And here's my favourite one. Favourite of them all. Because it's a mechanical pencil. I've never seen one of these mechanical pencils before. You just pump the lead out instead of having to pencil shave. And my God, it's so much easier. So yeah, I do this now. Using my favourite pencil. That's generally the only pencil I'll use, unless I'm going to be using these pencils here. But these are kind of more my shading pencils and things like. Oh my God, I've got a lead in there. I didn't even realise. Look at that. I didn't even realise I got a second one. I thought I broke that one. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we got this. So let's get some drawing done. If you are a fan of the comic historian and the comics that I'm listening to today, guys, then you can, if you wish, request me to draw these characters that I am listening to. But I'm trying to go off brand and make my own brand, as you know, because I am officially now going to be doing everything for everybody. And my shop, if you like, is open, but it's just not official up on the internet yet. So if you would like to purchase anything, let me know. But anyway, let's get back to what we were listening to, which was the birth. Is it upside down? That's upside down. The birth of rebirth of Jason Todd, which is Red Hood, and my Morning Skate is always going to be red. This character, my son's color is red, whereas mine is blue, or blue and yellow. My son's character is always is red. His color is red, so we're going to keep to the reddish or reddy colors. Like I said, for here we've got purple, blue. Blue isn't a red, but you know what I mean. He wanted blue jeans, so I put blue jeans on him. Got purple and red, and we'll probably keep with a little bit of bright orange as well. But I don't know how I'm going to design this one to look evil, because he's already got horns, so he kind of already looks evil. Unless this is the evil version, and I draw the good version. But I haven't decided where they all have horns. They all have the little imp ears and things like that. And yeah, but we'll listen to some more of this. And let's get on, shall we?
Playing from Galaxy A20e.
I imagine they're not the kind of tire that you could just find
there
on
you
a
go. You get to see what I'm saying.
And who's going to take a tire that has the bat symbol on it? His mother died of an overdose, and his father was a thug for Two-Face. After Batman took him in, he made Jason the second Robin, believing that Todd would become a worse criminal if Batman didn't help him. Fans did not take to this new version of Jason, though. He was loud, angry, violent, and kind of a dick, like Damian is today. In 1988, Dennis O'Neil decided that the fans would have a say in what happened to this character. After Jason was captured by the Joker, he was beaten with a crowbar and left in a warehouse with a bomb. Fans then called two numbers, one to save Jason and one to kill him, killing off the character by around 72-ish votes. And yes, I know that there's a rumor and conspiracy that someone just used an automatic dialer to just constantly vote him dead, and that he actually should have lived. Anyway, the death of Jason was a defining moment for Batman.
Let's
one that would
get
affect
some
him for
drawing
years.
doing.
Jason's memorial would be a constant reminder of Batman's failure, as well as change how he looked at new partners in the future.
Okay.
And Jason stayed dead for like 17 years.
Gonna
There
be
used to be a
putting him in a
saying, you
pose.
can revive anybody in comic books except
Skateboard.
Jason Todd, Bucky Barnes, and Uncle Ben. Well, much like Bucky
overhead.
Barnes, Jason would return from the dead as a
Bones.
villain. In 2002
Body.
2003's story arc called Hush, an amazing one that we have right here on the channel, Batman went up against pretty much everyone in his rogues gallery, all orchestrated by the title villain, Hush. Towards the end of the story, Tim Drake, the current Robin at the time, is kidnapped by a resurrected Jason Todd. Or at least what we and Batman are led to believe to be a resurrected Jason Todd. The two fight over Jason's grave, with the resurrected sidekick accusing Bruce of not caring about his death, and still allowing the Joker to escape. In the end, we're informed that it wasn't a real Jason Todd, but Clayface disguised as him, although Jason's grave is in fact empty. Jump forward to 2004-2005 story arc called Under the Red Hood, another incredible one we have right here at the channel. Apparently someone liked the idea of Jason Todd being resurrected enough that they kind of went ahead and did it. Instead of breaking down what happened in each arc though, I'm going to give you the overall story. You see, in the Infinite Crisis
Go away.
storyline, Superboy Prime is trapped in a paradise dimension. To escape, he punches his way through the barrier. The blows are so powerful that they send ripples throughout the multiverse, which eventually resurrects Jason. That's right, Jason is technically punched back to life. I just love saying that. It's also part of the joke that we all make that if you want to retcon something, just Superboy Prime punch it. Anyway, after coming back to life, Jason has no memories of his former life and he kind of wanders for a little while, eventually being taken in by Talia al Ghul. Using the Lazarus Pit, his memories and health are restored, and it is hinted that Jason's mental state has been altered by the Lazarus Pit, but this is never ever truly confirmed. Okay, so you come back from the dead and you discover that not only has your former mentor replaced you, but he has also allowed the psychopath that murdered you to keep on living. What do? That's right, you travel the world learning to become a world-class killer with skills to rival even Batman. Funded by Talia al Ghul, Jason traveled the globe learning various skills, while also killing most of his teachers because it turns out that the people that know these skills are usually not good people. With him having completed his travels, he returns to Gotham as the biker jacket-clad Red Hood. And it is also revealed that it was really Jason that kidnapped Tim Drake in the Hush storyline, but he switched places with Clayface so that he could watch the fight. Using his superior training, Red Hood decides to control the crime in the city, fighting against the then underworld leader Black Mask. In the end, it comes back to Batman and Jason finally reveals himself. Capturing the Joker, Jason gives Bruce the choice. Either let Jason kill the Joker
wing
or
sword,
Bruce
as I'm
kills
calling
Jason.
it.
Of course, Bruce doesn't let anyone die as he batarangs Jason's hand, defeating him and releasing the Joker. Of course, the Joker goes on to kill hundreds more, so whether Batman did the right thing or not is an argument for an ethics class. At this point, whenever Jason Todd shows up in the comic books, his attitude flip-flops quite a bit, from being a villain, like we just saw in his introduction, to a sort of anti-hero. Not like the Punisher, though, just sort of a dick. Let's run through these real fast. Jason begins by murdering criminals in New York while dressed up as Nightwing. Nightwing is not happy about this because he's a psycho. Jason doesn't see a problem with this and is a jerk about it. Eventually, Nightwing has to save Jason from these mobsters. Afterwards, Jason tells Dick that he has returned to normal, whatever that means, and leaves the city. Showing up in Star City, the Red Hood decides to kidnap the second Speedy from Green Arrow, because he thinks that he would make a much better team because they're so much alike. He then has a run-in with the Titans, fighting the Monitor, and he hits on Donna Troy because they have so much in common. They both came back from the dead, and he gets pissed when her ex-boyfriend shows up. He takes up the mantle of Red Robin during the countdown to Final Crisis. He's actually kind of a hero again, but he's still a jerk. After Batman is killed, aka sent through time in a Doctor Who-style adventure, Jason once again shows up in Gotham. Now he's dressed as a gun-toting Batman, believing that he is the hero that the city needs! He's gone full-blown psycho super villain at this point, stabbing Tim Drake in the chest, and he finally gets to fight Dick Grayson for the mantle of the Bat. Of course, Dick Grayson wins and Jason promises to return. And that he does when he returns to Gotham after Dick Grayson has taken over the role of Batman. Now he seems even crazier though. Once again, Red Hood, Jason has transformed his costume into a more standard superhero garb. He takes on his own sidekick who has a tragic backstory, and he spends his time murdering criminals and spouting weird, heroic-ish one-liners. Eventually, he's once again defeated by Dick Grayson and taken into custody. After being kept in Arkham for a little while, he's moved to Gotham Prison, where he proceeds to murder more criminals. After being broken out of jail, Jason must work alongside Batman and Robin to save his former sidekick, and when he does, Batman tries to take him back into custody. But Jason informs him that he left bombs planted all over Gotham. Red Hood and Scarlet are last seen riding off into the sunset. So for a few years there, it doesn't seem like Jason had any consistency. For a while, he wasn't a bad guy. Then he was kind of an anti-hero, then a hero, then a bad guy, then a worse bad guy. And finally, all of that changed with the New 52. After the Flashpoint event soft resetted the DC Universe once again, one of the initial titles was Red Hood and the Outlaws. Gone was the murderous Jason out for revenge against the Bat family. Instead, we had a Jason that was more like what if the Punisher was trained by Batman. Jason believes that some people just need to be put down. However, he also seeks redemption in the eyes of his former mentor and surrogate father. It's these two dueling ideals that make him an interesting character. After his death at the hands of the Joker, Jason was resurrected by Talia al Ghul in the Lazarus Pit. He was then trained by a group known as the All Cast, sort of mystical warriors and a League of Assassins. Once he returned to Gotham, Jason's new outlook on putting criminals permanently down didn't go well with the rest of the Bat family, so he struck out on his own as Red Hood. Eventually, he would hook up with Roy Harper and Starfire to become the Outlaws, former sidekicks who had no issue with making the hard decisions. Jason would also continue to work alongside Batman Inc. as the hero known as Wingman when Bruce offered him a second chance at redemption. During the events of Death of the Family, it's revealed that the most terrible things that have happened to Jason's life were actually all orchestrated and planned by the Joker to create a corrupted Robin. After learning this, Jason returned to the All Cast to have his memories wiped, and after this, Jason would go on to be taken into the League of Assassins, get his memories back, and fight and defeat Ra's al Ghul. Following these events, the Outlaws disbanded. Jason and Roy would then travel the world as the heroes for hire. This didn't last long though because of DC Rebirth. I think it got like 12 issues in. DC Rebirth was yet another soft reboot that was supposed to return some aspects of the characters that fans had missed since the New 52. Luckily, DC decided to keep the current Jason hero status quo and not return him to the psychopath that he once was. Instead, Jason and Bruce's relationship actually seems to be mending. Back in Gotham, Jason has been working for Batman in discovering a link between the City Hall and the criminal underworld, not unlike when Batman originally sent Nightwing into Bloodhaven to solve some murders. Discovering that the mayor has been infected with a virus, Jason cures him by shooting him. The bullets actually contain the cure though, so don't even get me started on velocity or how that would still kill him. Batman confronts Jason thinking that he killed the mayor, and Jason explains that his plan was that the criminal underworld will now think that he assassinated the mayor, thus allowing him to go undercover into Black Mask's organization. Batman agrees with this, but only if Jason agrees to not kill anyone. During this, Jason teams up with Artemis, the disgraced Amazon, and Bizarro, the messed up superhero clone, forming a new team of outlaws, or as they're known in continuity
that's a bit coming out of the wrong place.
Jason seems to find a family and understanding that he's been looking for most of his life. But the story then takes an interesting turn. It turns out that Jason's father was actually doing all of the evil deeds to clear his name with the Penguin. Or basically, he was a lowlife working for the Penguin, and at the end of the day, he basically went to jail to cover for the Penguin, and he's been spending his life in jail as a cover for the Penguin, where it would appear that Jason's father died while agreeing to be a test dummy for some new metahuman gene, which would allow him to either die or get out of prison early. Either way, Jason begins to blame the Penguin for his father's death. He ignores his friends Artemis and Bizarro and proceeds to just go right for the Penguin, taking a shot at him at point-blank range, supposedly killing him. Of course, this drags Batman out, and he comes over to beat down Jason Todd and kick him out of Gotham City. During all of these events, Artemis and Bizarro had to basically create a portal into a different dimension, and they've gone missing. Now with Jason Todd, he's now known as the Outlaw, where he's willing to kill once again, and he's left Gotham, traveling in the Middle West, where he's battling against a giant crime organization. Oh, and it turns out he didn't actually kill the Penguin. Apparently at point-blank range with the muzzle right at the Penguin's eye, he somehow missed. I don't know, that's how we're keeping him alive in continuity. So there you have it. Jason Todd is a long and confusing history for someone who is dead for almost 20 years. The current state of Jason as the gun-toting member of the Bat family who isn't afraid to put his enemies down is the one that I like. The douche who couldn't make up his mind whether he was a hero or a villain is the one that I hope they never bring back. If you like Know Your Universe, let me know in the comments down below what you want us to cover next. And don't forget, you can subscribe right here to this channel to get your audiobook versions of comic books right here at Comic Storian. And you can also get other things like these knowledge bombs that we drop on you hard. Yeah! I probably should never say that phrase again. Don't forget to give this video a like, and I'll see you next time.
Yes, but we'll see them in a minute as soon as this advert disappears. Go away, adverts.
Did Batman ever lose a Robin?
Can you stop being... Oh, I've got the wrong way around.
Welcome to
Okay, so... Oh, it's a whole playlist. I can just let it play. Nice. Yeah, there's a playlist, guys. Absolutely, we're going to be listening to a lot of Red Hood because there's absolutely loads of it, and there's absolutely loads. So we're going to be listening to Red Hood this week, next week, and whenever we're finishing this project. Obviously, I haven't finished yet, but that's the basic design of where I'm getting to. Again, it's based on this character here, Morningscape. Don't know if I'm going to put him a ramp in there, because I kind of like the idea of him doing a kickflip. And then again, I could do him a shield, sort of standing there with a shield. The shield could be like there. I kind of like the idea he's wrapping his tail around the skateboard doing a kickflip, sword in hand or whatever. It's sort of going with the same idea with my first drawing you saw at the beginning, where it was Blue Angel was jumping out and saying "Still not dead" because he just jumped back into from defeating his other or the other. No, I just call it the other, his other. Yeah, his other, because they've all got evil counterparts. I'm not happy with this, obviously, because it's looking horrendous. But I've kind of got the form, the picture, the sort of way it's going to be looking. I really don't like the legs. So maybe if I straighten that leg out a bit, maybe that'll, because it just looks a bit too, look spread apart. So I don't like the way that leg's looking. That's another reason I do not ink first. But in Inktober, I will be doing drawings every single day. That's even on the weekends. Even on Thursdays, Fridays, and stuff like that. I will be doing Inktober, and that will be in October. That looks a bit more like it. Yeah, it looks a bit better, I reckon. It's got one leg sticking out. One leg, because that's kind of what you would do if you're kick flipping. You sort of flick one side and then you use the other foot to flick the other. So it's complicated to be explained because I've never been able to do one, but I know how to do one, if that makes any sense. Same with an ollie. I know how to do an ollie. I know what to do a nollie. I know how to do hippie jumps. I know how to do it all. I just don't know. I can't do it. I've watched so many skating videos. If you're into skating, guys, I have hopefully on the Xbox got a skating game coming very, very soon. So it's definitely worth keeping up with the Twitch content because I may be playing that one this evening on twitch.com or switch.tv as it's known now. Hopefully there'll be a skating game that I can get playing because this is all going to be morning skate. And yeah, I kind of like the way that leg's looking. That leg's looking a lot better. We'll take out.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Well, I never asked you a question, you stupid machine. Shut up. What should we have his foot doing? He's got two, so he's got two toes. Or maybe because shite. Wish I'd put shoes on them now. So we've got two toes. Okay, I'm gonna have to draw this a second. His foot's kind of that shape. So if I just draw a normal foot a minute, as if it's in a shoe, and split it a little, like that. Again, I'm not happy with that, but it's going to have to do. Don't forget you'll get your ideas coming in as well, guys, because I'm always open for ideas on new ideas for characters to draw out. They can be from something you're interested in, something you've drawn yourself and you're just having a bit of trouble with and you want me to sort of redraw for you or teach you how to sort of do forms. But I've done lots of how to draw different kinds, different shapes. And if you're new to the channel, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be live today and tomorrow here on the channel on YouTube using my PS4. That's why it's a different. That's why it's a little bit different the way everything looks. I'm not sure if it's sharp enough, but we're only in the sketch stage, so we'll see what that goes. But yeah, guys, leave those comments coming in. Artemis, tell me a little bit more about your headless character. Are you gonna finish it? Because I want to draw it, and I don't want to finish the design, even though I kind of sort of already have with that picture I gave you that you finally came to you yesterday. But yeah, let's get some more of this so I can carry on doing this.
You can manage your team's work easily with Monday.com.
Yada 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 yada. Don't care.
Did Batman ever lose a Robin? Welcome to Comic Historian's Complete Story Series, where I bring you trade paperbacks and single issues, and I break them down and then I digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read it dramatically back to you. All alterations of the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. This is an old story from the 1980s. Many of you may know it's one of the origins of the Red Hood. It's where things started for him. For those of you who don't know what's about to happen, this is the birth of Jason Todd. Our story begins with Batman and Robin hunting down a child pornography operation in a warehouse in Gotham City. When Batman goes in to shut it down, his partner Robin rushes into combat with reckless abandon.
Alright, you get to watch that when I faff around with this.
To take down these criminals, Batman does reprimand Robin for his brash tactics. When he goes home, he has a discussion with Alfred concerning the boy Wonder, who at this time is Jason Todd. With Dick Grayson recently retired as Robin, he decided to recruit another Robin that he took in from the streets. Something is wrong with this new Robin. Most of it stems from the fact that he's still mourning the loss of his parents, something that Bruce Wayne has put behind him, but Alfred confirms Bruce's suspicions when he decides to remove Jason as an active duty Robin. Jason, however, overhears this argument and then gets into a verbal argument with Bruce before storming off. Batman is called in by Commissioner Gordon because of some very grim news. The Joker has escaped Arkham Asylum, leaving many dead people in his wake. The world's greatest detective is on the case to find out what his oldest rival is up to, and we soon learn that the Joker has escaped, only to discover his funds have been depleted. But don't worry, he still has an ace up his sleeve. He has his very own cruise missile. He's had it stowed away for some time, and instead of using it to murder innocents, he decides to hawk the weapon to some terrorists in the Middle East. His goal is for a change of pace that doesn't involve crime, but something involving international politics, and with this money, he just might do that. Meanwhile, Jason Todd is wandering the streets of Gotham alone. He comes across his old home, a place of happier memories. Suddenly, an old neighbor recognizes Jason, and she has a gift for him. Old heirlooms from his family. Jason takes these items back to Wayne Manor to look through them, to get in touch with his past. However, he soon comes across his birth certificate, and he learns some shocking news. While his father's name is on the document, his mother's name is different. Water damage has ruined the document, but he identifies the first letter of his mother's name as the letter S. And using his father's old address book, he learns that there are 3 female contacts with names beginning with that letter. Using the Bat computer, Jason soon discovers that these 3 names are Charmin Rosen, Shiva Woosman, and Dr. Sheila Haywood. All 3 women are operating overseas in the Middle East and Africa, and so Jason decides that he's going to find them on his own because he thinks Batman wouldn't understand his desire to meet his mother. Using the wealth and resources of Bruce Wayne, Jason leaves Gotham in search of his true birth mother, who might still actually be alive. Little does Jason know, though, Joker has already hijacked a plane with his cruise missile to go to the Middle East. Shortly after, Batman uses his incredible detective skills to discover that Joker is in possession of a nuclear weapon that he deduces that he's taking it to Lebanon to sell to terrorists. However, Alfred informs Batman that Jason has run away, and he has to make the decision to find Jason Todd or pursue his deadliest foe, Joker, overseas. It's a moral dilemma for Batman that will change his life forever. Batman touches down in Lebanon, and he tracks down the plane the Joker arrived in, and that's when he learns the Joker killed the pilots and successfully transported the cruise missile with him. Batman's worst fears are confirmed. He knows that in order to find Joker, he's going to have to go through the violent streets of Beirut to track down his prey. Meanwhile, Jason has also arrived in Beirut in search of Charmin Rosen. Using his detective skills, he finds a hotel that she's staying in. Before he's able to ask for her, he's grabbed off the streets by none other than Bruce Wayne. Bruce recently learned that the man selling the missile for the Joker is a man named Peter Brando, and he too is staying in the same hotel. Jason tells Bruce that he's here to track down a woman who might be his mother, and Bruce tells Jason that the reason he's here is to stop the Joker.
Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia. We're here for the Tour Championship.
Hey, T, what's happening? You ready?
What's up, Q?
What's up, fella?
While it seems that their cases are separate, they soon see Charmin Rosen and Peter Brando walking past the hotel. And that's when they realize they are actually on the same case. And they begin to track the two of them out into the desert of Lebanon using their bat gliders. They soon arrive at a camp near the Israeli border, and lo and behold, Joker is there to make the deal. $1 million for his cruise missile. The terrorist is anxious to use the weapon and begins to arm it, so Batman and Robin begin to dismantle Joker's thugs and the Palestinian terrorists slowly and methodically. During the fighting, though, Peter Brando realizes that Charmin has been deceiving him, and she's actually an Israeli agent and threatens to kill her. Jason, seeing his potential mother in danger, recklessly moves in to stop Peter. Before Brando can pull the trigger, the terrorist arms the cruise missile and launches it, except the missile malfunctions, creating a giant explosion.
Gotta go ahead, but I can't quite get it.
Not detonate. But in the chaos, Joker escapes without his precious suitcase filled with all of the money he needs to start his new operation. After all of the villains are cleaned up, Batman and Robin question Charmin Rosen about her past. Has she ever been to Gotham City? And has she ever had a child there? Sadly, the answer is no. And Jason tells Batman that he will now go searching for Shiva Wuzin back in Beirut. Batman agrees to come with them to make sure that he stays out of trouble, and at the nearby airport, Joker in disguise buys a ticket to fly to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, for reasons unknown. The search for Jason's potential mother, Shiva Wuzman, begins with a troubling abduction in Beirut. Batman and Robin learn that she's been abducted and taken back to Bekaa Valley, and in order to infiltrate their camp, they beat up some terrorists to take their clothes as a disguise. The two begin the dread work of incapacitating the henchmen quickly and quietly, but it all seems so easy to them. Too easy. They take a look in the tent where Shiva is supposedly being held captive, and she isn't there. And Batman deduces that this is a terrorist training camp, and then a hit over Jason's head leaves him unconscious. Batman turns to learn that Lady Shiva is the woman in charge of this camp, and she also happens to be the woman that they think might be Jason Todd's mother. What proceeds as a magnificent duel of martial arts between Lady Shiva and the Caped Crusader. She proves to be much more than a match for Batman, and the combat is drawn out until Jason wakes up to see Batman and the woman that he thinks...
Okay, so I'm kind of getting stuck because the arms are looking horrendous right now. Don't know what to put that arm in the pose as. I mean, I kind of like the pose as it is. It's just not looking quite right. Is it too small, do you reckon, to me? I ain't very good at drawing hands anyway, so we'll just carry on.
Be his mother, fighting to the death. Jason decides to help Batman, and with a surprise strike to her back, Batman finishes off Lady Shiva with a couple of moves, knocking her out. He then uses a time-delayed charge to destroy the terrorist camp, and the two take her away for questioning. Again, they ask her a simple question. Did you ever have a child? She gleefully replies that she's had many children all over the world. Batman is obviously not amused by her humor, so he takes out a dose of sodium pentothal to force the truth out of her. This time, the answer is more direct. No. Satisfied, they leave her out in the middle of the desert, left with only one more option, the Dr. Sheila Haywood, and it seems that someone else has found her first. Over in a famine relief camp in Ethiopia, an all-too-familiar face barges in on Dr. Sheila Haywood hard at work, and she recognizes him immediately, the Joker. He knows this woman from her troubled past in Gotham City, and plans to use her connections to gain medical supplies in order to sell them on the black market. Yes, the Joker has been reduced to hijacking trucks. Just another victim of Reaganomics. That's me. So the Joker's next plan is set. Another fateful coincidence. It takes a little time for Batman and Robin to locate Dr. Sheila Haywood in the Ethiopian refugee camp. Innocent starving refugees are all around them, and perhaps this is the place where Jason Todd's true mother is. They easily find her tent, and then the two of them, in their public identities of Bruce Wayne and Jason Todd, introduce themselves. Sheila immediately realizes that Jason is her long-lost son, and in a moment of elation, the two embrace and and Batman looks on. He leaves them for a time to have their happy reunion, and the doctor relates her sad story to Jason, revealing that after giving birth to him, she was a part of a botched operation and it ruined her medical career in the United States. She fled for England, where his father, Willis Todd, was going to meet her. However, he fell in love with Katherine Johnson, and the two of them got married. After that happened, she abandoned Jason because she didn't think she would ever win a custody battle because of her troubled past. She has since dedicated her life to helping people, but the reunion is cut short as she gets back to work distributing food to the refugees. Jason walks alone in the camp when he recognizes that familiar face in skin-colored makeup, the Joker. He walks into Sheila's tent, and Jason eavesdrops on their conversation. He learns that the Joker is blackmailing Sheila in order to enact his villainous scheme. Joker leaves with Dr. Haywood to go to a warehouse where the medical supplies are being kept, and Jason follows, acting alone without Batman. He follows them to the warehouse where he learns that Joker is taking medical crates and replacing them with crates of a lethal laughing gas to kill everyone in 4 acres after they get opened. With this grim news, Jason heads off to find Batman, and he relays the evil plan to Batman, but by the time they get back to the warehouse, they see the trucks are already delivering the crates of deadly gas to the nearby camp. Batman begins to think that they can stop them in time with his mini bat helicopter, but he has to go alone. It is a mini bat helicopter, not the big one. He tells Jason to watch after the warehouse with explicit warning, do not act until he returns. But as the bat helicopter takes off, Jason makes a bold decision to save his mother from the clown prince of crime. He goes into the warehouse and he finds Dr. Haywood, and he tells her that he knows what's going on and reveals to her that he's actually Robin, the Boy Wonder, Batman's sidekick. And she tells him that the Joker is long gone and guides him into a warehouse to show him something. That something is the Joker with a gang of thugs in tow. Jason turns around, and then what should have been the happiest day of his life turns into the worst day of his life as he sees his own mother pointing a gun at him. It seems that the good doctor has been embezzling medical supplies on her own to make money on the side, and if he interferes, it could make her life worse. With Jason surrounded, the Joker proceeds to give Jason the beating of a lifetime. He can barely fight back, and the Joker nearly beats him to death with a crowbar. Blood is everywhere, and his mother looks on and lights a cigarette. Batman is in hot pursuit of the military truck with the poison gas, but his bat helicopter gets shot down by unsuspecting soldiers. After incapacitating the soldiers, Batman tells the drivers that this crisis is over and to turn around. Batman needs to get back to Jason, and he uses one of the convoy trucks to race back to the warehouse, where the Joker is. Speaking of the Joker, he's back in the warehouse deciding his next move. With Jason near death, he decides to tie up Dr. Haywood and blow the warehouse up to remove any evidence that he did this. Sheila is helpless to do anything after being betrayed by the Joker, and as time is ticking away on the bomb, Jason miraculously gets a second win, and he unties his mother. But he's too beat up to deactivate the bomb, and their best option is to escape. With only seconds to spare, they make their way to the door, only to find that it's locked. The Joker locked them in the warehouse. Batman sees the Joker driving off, and he opts to go to the warehouse to see if Jason is alright. But as he arrives in his truck, he sees a massive explosion. Jason! Oh my god! Oh my god, no! Now, at the end of Batman 427, there's a famous page that followed the exploding warehouse. It was an advertisement for readers to decide what was going to happen next. And there were 2 1-800 numbers printed there. One was to tell DC that Jason Todd Robin should live. The other one was to tell DC that Jason Todd Robin should die. And so, on September 16th of 1988, the comic book readers would decide the fate of the Boy Wonder. What happened next was the result of those phone calls. Batman slowly walks through the remains of the warehouse that he left.
Okay, I've got to tap record a second, guys. Give me a second. Alexa, stop.
He regrets his decision that led him to recruiting another Robin after Dick moved on. He moves through his memories of Jason Todd from his first meeting to their encounter with Two-Face.
There you go, that's a bit quicker, eh?
Of his memories and the
That gets
warehouse,
recorded.
He finds Dr. Sheila Haywood.
What I just did there, guys, was stop the didn't stop the broadcast, but I recorded what I'm actually what's happening on screen. Because I can broadcast, I can also record at the same time, so it saves me having to do both videos separately, and I can do everything in one way and give you a little bit of a better better way of doing things, I think, anyway. But like I said, I've just recorded, so I will be releasing this so you can have a zoomed in and things like that. But I don't think you're going to need much of a zoom in because this character is not going as well as I wanted it to. But again, we're only sketching, we're just sort of faffing in a minute. But let me know what you think what do you think of it, guys, by leaving a thumbs up.
There, nearly dead. In her last breath, she tells Batman that the Joker trapped them in the warehouse with the bomb in order to kill them. And in the final moments before the explosion, Jason jumped in front of her to save her life. He was the hero in the end. He was a good boy. He loved his mother. With the regrets of her own life choices, she dies in Batman's arms. And the Dark Knight silently continues to go through the wreckage, hoping beyond hope that Jason is okay. And he sees him at last. He goes to check for a pulse. There's nothing. He's lost him. Jason Todd, the boy wonder.
You switch.
Ah!
You buy those kicks.
Ja, 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 ja.
The Joker is off selling his stolen medical supplies. As he receives his money, 2 Secret Servicemen from Iran are there to meet him. They are there at the behest of a man that wished to speak with the Joker. They go into the next room to find that it is the Grand Ayatollah himself, and he's there to offer the Clown Prince of Crime a government position. The Joker's dream has come true. Back at the ruins, Batman as Bruce Wayne deals with the authorities. He removes any evidence of Robin's disguise and he answers the questions that they have, keeping the truth to himself. No authority will keep him from dealing with the Joker. Soon after, Batman follows the Joker to his location in Ethiopia, and the only thing that he can find is a warehouse filled with dead henchmen and a bloody message. B. See you at 42nd and 1st. J. Batman takes the body of Sheila and Jason back to Gotham, where they have a small funeral that only Commissioner Gordon, Barbara Gordon, and Alfred attend. No one knew the identity of Jason Todd, and all of his family is gone. Alfred tells Batman that he can contact the Nightwing to help him, but Bruce refuses. No help from here on. That's the way I want it. Batman quickly deduces the address that the Joker gave him was not in Gotham, but in New York City, at the United Nations Plaza. And when he gets there, he's prepared to find out what the Joker's game is. But that's when he's greeted by someone else entirely different. Superman. Superman is there at the request of the State Department because the Iranian government warned them that Batman may arrive. Superman tells Batman that there is a new ambassador for Iran who has diplomatic immunity and all of his past crimes are washed away. Superman is there to stop an international incident and he tells Batman to walk away. But Batman finds it weird because Superman refuses to state who the ambassador is, and he even punches the Man of Steel out of anger, bruising his hand. It is then that the new Iranian ambassador steps out of a car, and it is as Batman feared. The Joker is the ambassador. Batman has a meeting with a CIA agent who tells him that he needs to leave the Joker alone, and the president has asked Superman to keep Batman from doing anything that might start a war with Iran. After the agent leaves, Superman asks Batman about the death of his ward, Jason Todd, and Batman confirms that it was Robin and the Joker is responsible. Superman pleads with him not to put his vengeance above the country's interests, but Batman will not be swayed from his mission, and he leaves. Bruce Wayne begins to pull strings so that he can attend the UN meeting where the Iranian ambassador is going to be speaking. But that isn't for another day, so Batman decides to hunt down the Joker where he's staying. Batman gives Joker the ultimatum: surrender yourself to Arkham Asylum. The Joker knows that there is nothing Batman can do, so he just mocks him and his dead partner Robin. This gives Batman the confirmation that he needed to truly learn that the Joker killed Jason Todd. Batman leaves before the Joker can shoot him, and at the UN meeting the next night, Bruce Wayne is in attendance, and the Joker takes the stage. He stands there and he gives a crazy speech about how the UN will not be allowed to keep Iran down, and then he unleashes poisonous laughing gas on the UN members in attendance. All of the world's leaders would have surely been dead, but Superman in disguise was there to save the day. Superman breathes in all of the deadly laughing gas, and he stops the Joker's mad plot. But the Joker has a backup plan. Explosives set in the UN building overnight. In the mayhem, Batman jumps out and he begins to fight with the Joker, but the Joker has already started his getaway, and he runs out of the building towards a helicopter. Batman leaps after him, jumping on board as it takes off. On board the helicopter, Arab bodyguards shoot indiscriminately at Batman and the Joker, wounding the Joker and killing the pilot, which causes the helicopter to crash into a nearby building, exploding with the Joker in it. Before the crash, Batman leaps out of the helicopter and into the water below, with Superman there to pull him out.
That fits a bit better.
Batman demands that they find the corpse of the Joker, but he knows they won't. The struggle of Batman and the Joker is once again left unresolved, with the death of Jason Todd in their wake. And that is officially how Jason Todd died and where the story of Under the Red Hood comes from. Now, you probably have seen that movie of Under the Red Hood, but there is a comic book story for that, and we're probably going to be covering it eventually. I hope you guys enjoyed this, but this is probably one of the darker moments in the Dark Knight's history, and probably one of the most evil things the Joker has pulled off. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Batman, more Joker, more comic books. Follow us on Twitter @ComicStorian and Instagram @ComicStorian, and I'll see you guys next time right here.
So, how are M&M Directs so cheap?
Don't care, because I don't care. Adverts go away. Thank you. Try to draw in his hood now. Some more pencil. Give it a click. There we go. Mechanical pencils, everybody. Get them, because they're better than normal ones.
Red Hood is one of my favorite characters. I've even got a tattoo of him right here. But one thing I've always wondered is, how did he train to become the Red Hood? If you think about it, he died and then Superboy Prime punched the universe and he became Red Hood. But there has to be something in between that. Today we're going to begin the story of Lost Days. We're going to put it into 2 parts, but it's going to tell you the beginnings of Jason Todd's revival from being dead and then his training. I hope you guys enjoy. Our story begins years ago at Ra's al Ghul's mansion while he discusses business with his daughter Talia. As the two talk, Ra's mentions that the detective's partner has been killed. Jason Todd is no longer in the world of the living. The ramblings indicate that it was at the hands of the Joker, and Talia stops asking, "How is he?" Ra's says, "Well, the boy is dead, crushed in an explosion in a warehouse." Talia tells him no. How is Batman? Ra's says that he is unharmed, but if you're asking about his emotional state, I would obviously have no knowledge of that. Don't act as though I am unaware of the feelings you have for him.
Hey, bro.
Ra's walks off and tells
How you doing?
will monitor talk in Gotham. She must mind her work. She is not.
Please comment to me. Well, you just commented on me, buddy. What do you mean?
However, one night she found someone else.
What do you mean, sir?
As Ra's and Talia watch from a control room, Ra's says that he wants to see it. The young man before them was unresponsive in any way, except whenever he was attacked. When Ra's
Leave a
gave
like.
the order, the men below began to attack Jason, and as a reflex, Jason knocked out each of them. After he was done, he returned to his unresponsive state, not even saying a word.
Yeah, no worries, buddy. Like I said, if you miss any live streams, they're always available. I'm going to pause that. I actually like listening to these. Yeah, man. If you ever miss a stream, they're always available up on the Creation Station playlist, or they always stay up on the channel there, bud. You're more than welcome to check them out. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in to this one. Just drawing out the character of Morningscape, which more and more I do to it, the more I think, why am I doing this?
Ra's finishes the sentence stating,
because, I mean, I like the arm, I don't like the way it's looking, but that's the kind of... It's going for a swing down, you know what I mean? Like,
blood samples match those that they were able to obtain, meaning that this person is
kick flipping. So I'm going to just do that in a minute.
As Ra's watches the doctors walking with Jason, he tells Talia that he wants her to find out how this man cheated death. Sift through every inch of dirt that he has ever walked on. And no matter what,
oh yeah, I think I'll have like a little bubble up here later. Do a kickflip.
Going through the police reports and even investigating the coffin that Jason crawled out of. Talia is nowhere closer to finding any answers. As time went on, Talia continued testing Jason, and the doctor watching over him says that his physical conditioning isn't an issue. It's his mental capacity. He's not improving. He doesn't respond to anything other than when he's attacked, which could be some form of muscle memory. Jason eats, he covers himself when he's cold, but he has no sense of the world. By now, they would have hoped to have seen his brain utilizing other undamaged cells, but he's not getting any better. Talia tells the doctor that he is wrong, and then she heads down into the room with everyone. She slaps Jason across the face and shouts, "He will never fight her." So if it's just him reacting to attacks, explain that to her. After the testing, Talia takes Jason outside and tells him that he misses him. Since losing him, he has changed. He's become unforgiving. And in a way, she thinks that maybe him and Dick Grayson gave him light. Gave him hope. He feels responsible for this. Feels as if he failed.
What am I doing wrong with that arm?
But as Jason sits there, he doesn't respond. And then Talia sees a single tear.
That's what I'm doing wrong with that arm.
After bringing Jason back home, Ra's stops Talia, telling her that
there's
this
no bend in
ends
it.
Now. We've had the boy for over a year. We have no clue how he came to be. This whole
man, that's really bugging me. I can't get that arm right.
Talia says that Jason is getting better. And in time, they will learn the truth. If not from research, then Jason himself. Ra's tells her to stop. He knows what this is truly about, and no, he won't love her for this. Performing a miracle and restoring the boy to everything that he was, and then returning him to the detective, it will not make him love her. In the morning, we will be sending the boy away to be cared for and kept, protected and sheltered out of respect for his
How old am I?
And his
Guess.
caretaker. Down to the last
I'm that old, mate.
that tonight they shall leave them. Centuries ago, her father
Not as young as you, I'd imagine.
and since then has deemed that he and he alone will bathe in their waters. Jason was dead, murdered, buried, and more. But for him to return to this world is a miracle. Jason Todd was meant for
50? You cheeky bugger. No, I'm not 50,
He's
mate.
doing his job that in stepping into the Lazarus pit, it will guide him into what he is to become.
I'm much younger than 50, but not as young as you.
Demanding to know where he is. I am to believe that you have taken Jason half a mile from the sanctum of the pit to a cliffside and hurled him into the waters with only a survival kit? How can you be so sure that the pit has not driven him mad? Perhaps not tonight, or tomorrow. It could take weeks, or months, or decades. You have no conception of the power that you are trifling with. Jason Todd is an unknown entity. We do not know what force has returned him from beyond, and you have just empowered him with the nature of the pit. Elsewhere, as Jason walks throughout the streets, he begins to think. The Joker had murdered him, but he's still alive. The Joker is alive to hurt, kill, maim. Still alive to rob people of their friends and families. He has to know what he did, how he left him, how it felt, and now he's back, and no one knows why. But he does. It's obvious. He's come back to do what needs to be done. Several days later in Gotham, Jason sits in an alley looking at the Batman.
No, I'm not 45 either. Go younger than that.
Lucky for him, he has thanks to Talia, access to some very fat overseas accounts.
No, definitely not 45.
One would have to set up a deal that even he could
Younger than that, mate.
the biggest fish that he could take to the bait. All the while,
Not much younger than that, but I am younger than that.
it's just to know how to deal with him. There are a few things about the Batmobile that no one except him, Grayson, and Alfred would have
Oh, very close.
thermals.
Very
Even
close.
has video recognition. But even there are chinks in the
Very
armor.
close there with 35.
Sweatsuit
Still not
uses
right.
a high-end seal work, invisible to thermal, and has reflective fire.
But ridiculously close, mate. See if you can find out how old I am. I had my birthday not last Sunday, but the Sunday before, I think. 16th. It was. So I'm a year older than 25. Yeah, here we go, 25. 35. Yep, 36. There you go, buddy. That's how old I am.
He thinks, how hard could it have been? Just kill the monster that took me away. The truth is that Batman
Why'd you comment? Is it because I'm watching cartoons?
He was the one that made this happen. He has no one else to blame but himself. As Batman
That there's for your benefit, guys, while I'm faffing around doodling.
decides not to. Later, Jason tells Talia that it's not what she thinks. He didn't lose his nerve. He just couldn't let him go so easy. He would have never known what happened or why. Batman would never know that it was him. So instead of killing him from the shadows, he will face him. He will kill him with his own hands. Batman will see his face just before he's taken out of this world. Jason then turns back asking, will you help? Talia tells him of course. But in her mind, she thinks back to what her father said and says that he was right. She has unleashed a curse upon this world. Later, and with Talia's connections, Jason meets with the German known as Egon. He loves ska music and drinks a disgusting cherry-flavored
Ska.
drink all day. And he murders people for a living. And he's teaching him how it's done. He brings down a man and he says, that's good, now how would you finish him? Jason puts his foot to his neck and Egon tells him that the neck is thick and might not give. Jason then says that he puts his full weight behind it maybe, but he is also knocked out. So he can always stomp on the bridge of his nose and get into his brain pan. Egon says, fair enough. But you're still stupidly going for the head and not the eyes. Getting angry too easily will just waste and show that you're an idiot. As the two walk out, Egon mentions that he may have broken his ribs in there. Derek will escort him into the city to get some x-rays. Jason tells him it's probably just a bruise, and Egon stops him, telling him that he pays weekly. If he punctured any of his lungs and dies, he loses his fee. So go to the town. Days go by as Jason continues his training, but one night after returning, Derek asks, what's your story? How does some kid have enough money to buy time with Egon? Jason brushes off the question and he tells him that he always invested wisely. And Derek goes on telling him, yeah, everyone has their secrets. But I've been watching and I can tell you're good. That's why me and another guy have been talking. Maybe we can get you some work with us. Before Jason can answer, he listens and hears footsteps coming, but not coming for him. so it's best to just watch. Seconds later, Egon kicks Derek in the back and then again in the face. After he falls, he goes stomping on Derek's face, and then he tells Jason he will forgive him. Some of his men forget that they have to refrain from discussions. Jan will take him back to his room now. As Jason gets into the truck, he notices 2 trucks off in the distance and he hears whimpering. But not the whimpers that dogs make. After staying with the Germans so long, Jason has learned their patterns and when people are watching him and when they are not. And right now he only has 2 hours to figure out what's in those trucks. As Jason jumps out of his window, he remembers Egon mentioning something about the West Side before being brought back.
Yeah, Amelie, maybe what's my favourite food? Oh, there's a question. Now that is a question. What's your favourite food? I can't really pick. I kind of like eating everything. But I had to pick, it'd probably be like... Oh, I don't know, to be honest with you. I really don't have a favourite food. I don't really eat, to be honest with you.
Jason finds a ledger, and though he's been writing in code, Jason can make out numbers. Big numbers. This is a slave trade. Egon is selling those children. And as Egon's men start to load the children back up into the truck, Jason says that it's going to take them about 45 minutes before they can get on the road and move out.
Curry. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think I'll agree with you that one. I do like myself a curry. I used to work in a curry restaurant. So I kind of like, I like a curry. That's a good plan. That's good.
As the passenger leans back up, he feels like a gun being pressed against his head. And Jason tells him
his mouth's
bleeding out through his shoulder.
Oh, I don't like that.
Drive or take a bullet, his choice. A few hours later, Egon returns to the office shouting on the phone that they are 2 hours late. Find out where they went. But back in the office, the door opens and Jason tells him, it's okay, I got them. And he fires a shot into Egon. Egon ducks and then he tackles Jason outside shouting and asking, what is he doing? Egon then slams Jason into a tree and Jason tells him, it's cute. Your accent gets thicker when you're pissed off. Then Egon headbutts him and throws him to the ground, shouting that he can beat him. He taught him how to fight. And Jason tells him, no, you can't. That's why I poisoned your energy drinks. Egon stumbles back as he begins to foam with the mouth, and then he falls to his knees motionless. Some time passes, and Talia meets with Jason and tells him, it's funny. She finds him a teacher and he murders him. Jason tells her that murder sounds fancy. He didn't orchestrate whacking him over inheritance. He was a killer for hire and he made extra money selling children as sex toys. So tell him that the world isn't better off without him. Talia smiles and Jason asks, what's that for? And Talia tells him, nothing. It's just that you're learning. And that was Lost Days Part 1. Now, like I said at the beginning, the entire origin of how he actually came back to life is Superboy Prime. You see, they're not going to explain it.
What's your favourite curry?
What actually happened was during one of the crisis events.
Mine is, I would say, my favourite curry would have to be, lamb boulin. No, is it boulin? No, hang on.
In the case of the Red Hood, Jason Todd was brought back to life in a somewhat zombie state.
Oh, Buna. There you go. A lamb Buna is my favourite curry. What's your favourite curry, guys?
Anti-hero. If you want to see the Under the Red Hood storyline in its own playlist, that is right here. And if you want to see more from DC Rebirth or anything that's currently going on in DC, I'm putting that link right here. And of course, if you do like the way we do our videos and you do enjoy watching my smiling face, please subscribe. We'd appreciate it.
Hit that subscribe button, everybody.
Red Hood Lost Days, we started with the rebirth of Jason Todd, how he came back from the dead and started to work with Talia. But now things are getting interesting because, I mean, Jason's not a outright bad guy, is he? Well, we need to know how he trained to become the guy that he is now. A badass individual who's out to stop the crooks in his own unique way. How did we get to that conclusion? After some time, Jason's next stop is London, to learn about the bomb making from Shurik Avanko. He has worked with IRL, PLO, and a few Aryan supremacist groups in Germany, and now him. After a day of working together, Shurik tells Jason that he can come with them to have a drink with his friends. They're Russians.
I did?
Might not be as smart as him.
Now, what's your favourite curry, mate?
As Jason sits with everyone, they all laugh and they drink, and then Jason sees another man walk into the bar. Shurik tells the group that he'll be a moment. He's just making some more room for vodka. Then he enters the bathroom with the man. His name is Yuri Karnov. he's in the Russian mob. Later that night, at another pub, Jason tells Talia that it wasn't hard for him to find information on Yuri. In fact, he's well known. Yuri is a part of the Ivanjin clan, and they've got 3 police task forces and Interpol crawling all over them, which means a person will wonder why they need a bomber. Talia says that this is becoming a habit. His little investigations into the inner workings of these criminal organizations. A pattern has formed between them, Talia and Jason. She is assisting him in finding teachers. He studies under them to expand his repertoire, and then half of them end up dead. Jason tells her, it's not without reason. The surveillance expert was a pedophile. The small arms guy ran a smack ring, but half of his product was poison. And the close combat master was planning on killing her own husband and daughters. Talia sits back, stating, she isn't criticizing, just pointing out the obvious. His road to revenge seems to have brought on a new interest, or an old one. She pulls out a folder from her purse saying that she has some new business, and she wanted to show him. Jason pulls out and you see Batman and a new Robin. Talia tells him that she has some operatives doing low-level work in Gotham, and these photos were taken 72 hours ago. The new Robin. His name is Timothy Drake. Talia then asks if he's going to be alright, and Jason tells her, ha, sure, why wouldn't I? As he goes back to his room, he lines the photos on his walls, and he stares. The next day, he heads out to follow Shurik to an old barn where Yuri has come out to meet them. As Jason listens in, Yuri says that they need to move their plan up by 3 weeks, and no, they don't have a choice. The longer that they wait, the more connections that they lose. Their business is already dying. Shurik tells him that he can't do 9 targets in that time. He can do maybe 6, maybe 7. Yuri tells him that's fine as long as the blame goes where it's supposed to. And as they go on, Jason learns that Yuri has hired Shurik to detonate a series of bombs all over London and make it look like an Arab terrorist cell. The UK will focus on their terrorists, and they will leave the clan alone, seeing them as a second-tier problem. All they have to do is murder 700 people in a single afternoon. Shurik once told him that if he was going to do a big job, make sure to have a staging area, so that if the need comes, he can abandon his work and never return. As Jason looks into the warehouse where they're having their meeting at, he finds the bombs and he thinks that it's good that Shurik takes his
Neat.
own
Okay.
advice.
Can I see the character again? Which character, buddy? Do you want the Polymer Clay or do you want to see the Morningscape? That's Morningscape. Or the Blue Angel. Or the other characters from the very beginning. What are you chatting about? What characters there, bud? Because the best thing to do is rewatch once the video is finished and you can process. That's kind of broad, buddy, because I've got 3 books full of characters. So, my favourite, I showed you my favourite at the very beginning of the video there, buddy. So the best thing to do is, if you're able to do it, is rewind to the start and then come back to me after you've figured out. Or you can rewatch this stream after processing has happened this afternoon. How long have I been live for, actually? It's probably a long while today. Alexa, how long's left on the timer?
There are no timers set.
Oh, shit. Alexa, set me 30 minutes on the timer.
30 minutes. Starting now.
Give me a second, guys, because I have no idea how long I've been live for, so I'm going to record this. And come back. That's me recording on the PS4 there, guys, because what I plan to do with this one is make it like always, give you a zoomed in, everything I've sketched, sped up, so it's instead of it being 2 hours, 2-3 hours, it'll only be like a 20-minute video, like in the video I released yesterday. But yeah, guys, there, buddy. Because I've recorded and I've got that timer now, I don't have to worry about time too much. But my favourite character is Blue Angel, and I'm designing Blue Angel's character right now. His sidekick, sorry. And that is Morningscape, which is this one here, which is made out of polymer clay. But if you missed me making this out of polymer clay, or making this one out of polymer clay, which is Blue Angel, he's upside down. Oops, one of it is broken. You missed me making those ones, then yeah, there's Blue Angel. Oh, he's falling apart a bit, but that's Blue Angel. Because you asked so nicely and you're being very persistent, I'll give you a quick look at Blue Angel. Because we're now drawing Morningscape with first book. I don't think there's anything in this book about. Is there? Okay, there. That's the VR version that I did, buddy. If you want to go check that out, that one is up on the VR created playlist. This is the other of the darker version. I give you a full explanation, buddy. It'll give me another 15 minutes to actually explain, but that's if you're into anime, that was done by somebody. Whoops. So not done by somebody, done for somebody. But what I'm kind of redrawing sort of now, is this one here, which is Blue Angel. Again, it's this character here, which I made out of polymer clay. Drew him first. I've developed that character already. I'm now developing the Morningscape, which is here. In fact, why didn't I do that pose again? Oh, it's because he's doing a kick. I want to kind of change it. There's Morningscape, but there's the more advanced version of Blue Angel, if that's what you were trying to get me to show you. Get over there, you. But if you want to see, if you want to see the full explanation of what my characters are and who my characters are, the best thing is to wait for this live stream to finish. Give it maybe a couple hours for processing, depending on how long it will take. And then you'll be able to watch it like the previous videos from yesterday. Because what happens is I do the live stream and then the processing afterwards has to happen. It means it's sort of processing, making sure there's no copyright on there, no swearing or whatever. And then it releases it. Tells me I've got this problem with it. Tells me I've got that problem with it. I fix those problems, but the video is always going to be available, and I will put it into the playlist of Creation Station, so don't forget to keep checking that one for what I've done. But you can, like I said, everything I've drawn, all of my 3 books are in the Creation Station or live events drawing playlist. I don't just do paperwork, I also do digital on the computer, which that has died, and that's why we're doing it this way in the PS4 this time. I've also do a VR, which this one will be placed into the world with Blue Angel. Oh, thank you very much, buddy. If you think that much, make sure you hit that thumbs up, buddy, before you leave. Bye. Alright, okay. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and do all the good stuff so other people can see. If you want other people to show, then definitely. Or join in tomorrow. I will be alive again tomorrow.
But after changing around some of the wires,
easy. Oh, you're Australian, ain't you, bud? I know that. Easy, mate, easy.
Jason thinks that he's lucky that they're in London and no one is supposed to be carrying guns, because that means that he can fight them off. However, through the punches, Jason hears a click and the sound of metal. A click going into an MP5. As the gunman opens fire,
easy. I didn't realise it was Artemis saying that there. You've been quiet. I thought you left.
His own gun. He looks around and sees the front door is blocked. So there's only one thing that he can do. He starts pushing the boxes forward to where the bombs are being kept, and he tosses one of them at the hitman. As they look at the bomb slide by, they ask, "What is that?" And Jason jumps up,
I ain't going nowhere yet. I've still got loads to do.
He runs straight at the door, and the bomb goes off, launching him outside. And when he looks up, he sees Yuri. Yuri tells his men to kill him. Jason stands up telling him, "Just wait a second. I came down here to work on the bombs. Shurik told me the deadline had been moved up, and he didn't want to tell you that he needed more time, so I'm only here to help." Yuri tells one of his men to call Shurik to confirm that story, but before the call can connect, Jason vomits all over Yuri's shoes. He wipes his mouth, telling him, "I'm sorry, I'm just so nervous sometimes." And in the moment of hesitation from Yuri's men, Jason grabs Yuri and pulls out his gun, shooting Yuri in the foot. He then spins Yuri around and holds the gun to his head, telling the other men that Yuri will bleed out in just a second. "I shot off a chunk of his foot. So before the police can arrive and find all of us carrying illegal firearms in a burning building, we should probably go our separate ways." The men keep their guns trained at Jason, and Yuri shouts at them, "Just let him go!" After escaping from the clan, Jason heads over to Shurik's place to find some more information. Once he tied up Shurik and placed a bomb over him, Shurik began to tell him all about Yuri's plan. The bombs are going to be placed in the Arab teens' backpacks and detonated to act as if they were just another suicide bomber. Jason races through London, deactivating the bombs on Yuri's list, all except for one. The girl Susan is not where she was supposed to be, so Jason calls her, telling her that she needs to pull over wherever she is. Susan says that she's sorry,
Okay.
but who is he again? Jason shouts, I'm Detective Miles, and I have reason to believe that your life is in danger. You need to pull over and give me your location. Susan says that she can't. She's on the Westminster Bridge. Jason swerves through the traffic, asking, what kind of car are you in? And after giving the description, Jason quickly pulls up next to her. He shouts, hand over the bag! And Susan says that she's not sure, until she opens the bag and sees a bomb. Susan tosses the bag out, and Jason takes it and pulls the bomb out to defuse it. But as he does, a real officer shouts to Jason, asking, what do you think you're doing parking your bike on a sidewalk? Jason pulls his gun out and he points it at the officer, telling him to hush! Daddy's busy! Jason continues his work and he sees that the bomb isn't set up by remote, it's set up by timer. And time's almost up. He looks over the bridge and tells the officer that he wants it noted for the record. I did check for ships below. And he tosses the bomb. An explosion goes off in the water and everyone runs over to see what's going on. Using that opportunity, Jason jumps back on his bike and he heads back to his hideout. Right now, he just needs to get out of there. There's too many people that have seen his face today, and he should have enough time to. But as he opens up his door to his flat, he sees Yuri and his men, and he tells them, hey, you wouldn't happen to be here to fix the toilet, would you? He runs in, knocking out the first few men, and then he takes out his gun and starts to shoot out the rest of them. One by one, Yuri's men fall, and then finally Yuri himself. As Jason holds his gun to the last man's head, he pulls the trigger, and he only gets a click. He says that it looks like he's out of ammo, and then he smacks the man with the pistol, telling him, it's okay, I got another. The man shouts, begging for him not to kill him. He has connections. He can get him merchandise, drugs, anything he wants. And Jason tells him that he'll pass. As he holds the gun up to the man, he goes on, telling him, I could get you one of the 10 most wanted men. I know where the Joker is. Jason pulls his gun back, telling him, okay, now you have my attention. It doesn't take long to find out that what the man was saying about having the Joker's location was actually true. However, the problem right now is that he can't hear much because of some audio issues. The one thing that he can really make out is that the Joker is asking if everyone's happy now, because apparently he just shot 2 of his own men. The Joker was to meet up with some armed traffickers, and he said that he would bring 4 men with him, and he ended up bringing 6. Since the traffickers were getting a little edgy that he brought 6, well, the Joker just killed 2 of his own men to make it more even for them. He shouts, now that we've got that out of the way, shall we continue and get this little shindig into full swing? What the Joker is buying is something new. It's a liquid that can travel through water, and once exposed to the air, it bursts into flames. The Joker is revamping his original plan of poisoning Gotham's water supply, so when people turn on their tap, flames will shoot out instead of water. The trafficker says that he can get them the shipment by water, the Port of Los Angeles, Site 7 in 4 hours. As the night begins to set, Joker meets up at the docks to get ready for the exchange, but as he stands there, he sees the car speeding towards them. Joker tells one of the traffickers that, there's a dune buggy heading right for us, so do that thing where you shoot it at a lot to make it stop. The traffickers open fire on the car until it comes to a rolling stop right in front of them. But as the traffickers move in to take a look, Joker decides that it's best to just run now. Seconds later, the car releases a gas into the air, causing all of the traffickers to stop and cough, and then Jason jumps out of the trunk, and he fires a shot into the Joker's leg. Jason then heads over to where the Joker fell, and he tells him, that's gotta hurt. Just hang in there. There's a lot more of it to come. But before he can open fire again, he's shot in the back by the traffickers, and the Joker laughs. There's gonna be a lot more of that, too. Jason quickly grabs the Joker and he pulls him into a warehouse, telling himself, it ends right here, right now. And the Joker says, you know, it won't take them long to get through the door, so whatever dance party you've got planned, I'm coming close to pumpkin time. Jason takes out the nozzle of gas and says, don't worry, this won't take long. And he pours the gas all over the Joker. The Joker laughs as he coughs. I know this was gonna be that kind of a party. I would have worn shorts. But as he continues to laugh, Jason takes out a lighter, telling him, shut up! He looks at the fire thinking, you're gonna laugh at first, but then the pain will hit, and then you'll scream. But after your lungs go out, well, you'll be gone. Jason starts remembering back to when the Joker was hitting him with the crowbar, and then he flips the lighter shut. The next morning, Jason tells Talia that he didn't do it because he was rushed. It just simply wouldn't have been enough. It would have been a quick and agonizing death, and the world would have been a much better place for her, but when he thinks about it, he really doesn't care about the world. He realized that this isn't about the Joker. It's not even about Bruce or even himself. It's about all 3 of us. When this ends, however it ends, it'll be me, the Psycho, and Batman. Talia asks if he's still planning on killing Batman, and for a moment, Jason smiles. He says that he knows that she doesn't want him to, and he gets that she loves him, but he's not sure murdering him is part of the plan anymore. Talia says that if you won't murder him, then punish him. Take what is most important to him. Take Gotham from him. Be the man that he never would be.
Okay, it's getting on to that time. Well, I'll have to take a dog out for that thing before I say the word. Okay, she's barking at me, so that means that I've got to get done. Because she won't shut up.
So punish him for all of them. And Natalia leans in and grabs Jason by the shirt and kisses him.
So we might have to ink this another time, because I kind of am done.
The message says that the person
Apart from that foot's really bugging me. The arm's looking a lot better now. I've put the rest of the details in there. The hand is just bugging me. It'll look better when I've inked it. It always does. But, yeah. I think that will bring us to an end on the sketch. I will be back tomorrow. And I will be probably extending the live stream days because I want to ink this, I want to shade this, and then I want to colour this. So what I might do tomorrow, guys, because this is taking me so long to actually get finished, is get the morningscape finished tomorrow. Excuse me, have a good stare at this and see what I can, do with it. See if I can change anything. But for now, we're done, guys. So I'm going to flip that camera around once more, like I did at the very beginning, because we're doing things a little bit. We're doing things a little bit different now. So yeah. So yeah, we've finished up the drawing. We've got that drawing done there now, guys, and we're going to be finishing that one off tomorrow. Tune in for the continuation of the drawing of Morningscape, because then we didn't finish doing the drawing, but we'll be back tomorrow, guys. So thank you very much for all those comments. Thank you very much for all those people that joined me today. And I will see you tomorrow. And I will be back again Thursday, I would imagine, to do some colouring. So don't forget to tune in those days. I'll be live and I'll be on here on my PS4. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you want some games or if you want to carry on and watch any of the other illustrations by me, again, the Creation Station. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow for some more art, but in a different way. Bye for now. Press the wrong button. Still press the wrong button. Bye for now. Bye.